A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli waj'al li waziran min ahli Haruna akhi ushdud bihi azri washriku fi amri kay nusabbihaka katsira wa naskuraka katsira innaka kunta bina basira. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Welcome, dear friends. Inshallah, we will continue with our discussion on divine determining. All right, so just a little reminder, we are not discussing divine determining for information only, but it must be a confirmable, which is a pillar of belief in our lives right now. So while we are living, we need to understand how the universe, our lives are being determined by the Lord of the universe and live in a comfortable way, right? Not be worried, okay, usually we always are, let's say, I don't know what my tomorrow is or what next comes to me. We want to be living at ease in a peaceful way. So this is how the belief in divine determining, if we confirm it as one of the pillars of belief after the belief in God, belief in angels, prophets, and divine determining is one of the last pillars to really finalize our living with belief perspective. So divine determining, so from what we discussed last time, I took some notes that divine determining has the evident aspect, which we discussed in the previous discussions as well, something that is observable. We always are doing it based on how the order in the universe is. So we follow that order and obey the creation, the order that is set up by the Lord of the universe. And based on our experiences, we see, okay, this thing works in this way or another way, and of following the order of creation in the universe. And then there's the theoretical aspect, which is the unknowns that one may be subject to. Right, so let's say I applied to, let's say, a position for a job, but I don't know what happens afterwards. I followed exactly the order, but something maybe at some point they said, okay, we are no longer hiring it for that position anymore. Right, so there are different aspects which are known as the theoretical. Only God knows what is best for the individual. So no one can guarantee they will exist tomorrow. That's another example. We don't know. Can I say for sure that I will be there tomorrow? No, nobody can say that in my life or existence. So that is the part of the theoretical aspect that we kind of touched upon as well. And another point to realize is that God is even in the evident aspect, right? So we expect something to work even when we follow the order, but God is not obliged to follow his order of creation. Most of the time, of course, he does it, but he's not obliged. This is something to realize. And then something new that was introduced last week's discussion was the physical and non-physical. So there is the physical pertaining to divine determining. So this is what I understood, where the physical aspect is my expectation by following the order in creation, which is the evidence side. So I do something and I say, yeah, this is how I'm, with the order allows me to do it. I'm following it, so I should expect certain result. But a human being's life is subject to the non-physical aspect, or everything is subject to. But most importantly for us that we are concerned with is our human being's life is subject to the non-physical aspect, where changes, that is continuous creation. And he referred it to as the work of the pen of divine determining, right? Many times he says, there are many things that are happening, whereas continuous creation that is happening with the pen of divine determining is also happening at every stage in order that are unique. I thought unique to the being was important to highlight a little bit. For example, we gave the example that different characteristics of children growing in the same household everybody gets their own unique personality, their own characteristics. So everybody's being changed differently. Somebody may have, I don't know, somebody's hair may be growing faster than the other, or somebody's height may grow taller versus the other. So many different aspects that are there is determined through the non-physical aspect. So individual characteristics that would distinguish each being. So we are always subject to divine determining at every stage of our lives. And of course, we should understand that this does not mean that our free will does not hold. Like there is, so it doesn't not have any value, but yes, our free will is considered always, and accordingly, divine determining creates. Albeit, basically, considering that with complete freedom of absolute knowledge, power, will, that is how whatever he deems is good for the individual, that is what gets created. So even if I exercise my free will, I cannot guarantee that the thing will happen. So divine determining is continuously acting. And once it's in knowledge, then the power and will are manifested. So this is some of the takeaways from the last discussion. If there was something that needs to be added or emphasized a little more, I am open to that and welcome it as well. Before we go into the next topic or next session, paragraph. Okay, so I will say, if you say, divine determining has bound us like this. So now somebody is asking, okay, if at every time at play is divine determining, so what good is my freedom? It has negated our freedom. So that's exactly what many people may think. Or, yeah, if they're not really understanding it. Isn't belief in it a burden? So belief in divine determining something that is a burden, a full burden? Isn't belief in a burden or an irksome for the heart and spirit, which yearn for expansion and to roam freely? So human beings' heart and spirit are always, they want to be a free individual. Nobody wants to be imposed by anybody else. But then there's the Lord of the universe who claims that, yes, I determine everything for you. Right? So this person is concerned. So what good is the negation of the freedom? That's a problem for in the understanding, and also belief in divine determining, basically it referring to divine determining, is a burdensome for the heart and spirit. It's like somebody else is determining, I have no freedom in a way. So the answer to what this question is, and we can ask this as well, right? So since we've been discussing, okay, yes, continuously we are exposed to or experiencing the pen of divine determining in our lives, right? And that is, of course, through the God is absolutely free in his knowledge, power, will, and he has absolute free will. He's not bound to obey his order. So that's how the nature of absolute is. Okay, so the answer, absolutely not, to the question that negation and burdensome for the heart and spirit. So the author says, okay, absolutely not. Why is that? Let's think about this a little bit. So divine determining is not burdensome. It rather affords a luminosity and joy, producing a lightness, ease, and spirit, and ensuring confidence and security. So belief in divine determining should really ease up our spirit, because we know somebody is really taking care of all the things that we worry about. I mean, we have to do our duties, but as much as we can, as much as the order in the universe allows it. But that's it, leave the result to the creator of the universe. Because if man does not believe in divine determining, so as a pillar, belief in divine determining, Not just saying, okay, yeah, I believe, yeah, God is the creator, so he just does whatever, right? No, but there's an aspect of each like each moment of my life is determined by the absolute being, Lord of the universe. And it needs to be conformable by me based on my experiences, how I live my life, and it should put a certain ease in my spirit. So, because if man does not believe in divine determining, he is compelled to bear a burden as heavy as the world on the shoulders of his spirit within a constricted space. So, basically, compelled to bear a burden if there is no belief in divine determining. So, what is the other alternative? It could be chance, just not my luck. You never know. There's nothing for this. I don't know if somebody loves me or hates me. So mostly that's how people kind of realize that, okay, it was my luck that something happened. And that puts a heavy burden, which allows him only an insignificant independence and temporary freedom. Because now man is, who is connected with the whole universe, he has infinite aims and desires. But since his power, will, and freedom are insufficient to meet a millionth of these, it may be understood how awesome is the burden of the distress he bears. Because if we understand our createdness and what our power, will, and freedom is, we understand, yeah, we cannot give existence to anything. All we can do is follow the order, which is praying, asking God to create the result. So, what kind of a burden is this? And so, Brother Ali, please go ahead.
Yes, it is going to be explained why not believing in divine determining, the person takes a burden on a heavy burden on his shoulder, and his spirit will be constricted. Now, we have to pay attention to this point. Is it really so? If I don't believe in divine determining, I will be free to do something. First, we have to be convinced that is it really the case that if I don't believe in divine determining, I feel free to do something. It doesn't seem to be a burden. So just pay attention to this point, and then the answer will make sense to me, and I will be satisfied with the answer. But we have to understand first this point. Is it really so? And why?
So, I will start with myself, right? If I can look at my existence, think about it, like, what can I do? Right? So, even if I'm typing something, I need to use my hands for that. And the ability is not mine to begin with, or to hands are also given to me. Everything is actually given to me. So I'm very dependent in a way in my existence. So realizing my createdness in a way. I understand what my potential is. I mean, I'm definitely it needs someone else to create the results for me.
If a person, I'm sorry, I'm just really thinking like that. If a person thinks, it doesn't think, as you said, I am doing it what I want, so he will be free doing everything. Nothing is determined, nothing is controlled over him. Just he's doing it. Do you think the people usually, don't you think that people usually think they are doing what they are doing? They are the creators of their own actions.
Yep, mostly that's what we live by. You're right.
Sorry?
You're right. That's what most of us live by. That I did this, I'm doing this. We kind of have that understanding in a way.
Have those,
We forget, yeah, many times.
especially those people who don't really consider what they are doing, reflect on the reality of existence. They just say, I am doing it as I want. I am trying to enjoy myself. So the following sentences will explain it is not the case because of our reality. But first, we have to concentrate on this point, I thought. Why, if I think, if once someone comes and says, look, you are religious people, you are thinking that everything is controlled, everything is uh, invaded by God, and you are restricted with this idea, so you don't feel really free. You don't enjoy human freedom. What in fact they think in this way, most of the people. That is why they don't really take seriously religion seriously, because they don't want to have restrictions in their lives. Not only worship restrictions or this understanding somebody is overlooking at them, or how do you say, not overlooking, controlling them, and they are not really free what to do. They don't want to be in this position. The human beings want to be free. So what is required not to fall into this mistake? I think the following sentences will explain that. We have to take notice of our reality. If someone doesn't feel that his desires, his reality, man is connected with the whole universe, he has infinite aims and desires. If he doesn't think of this way, think of the reality in this way, and look at himself, his power, will, freedom, as you will explain this, then he will think that when he doesn't believe in divine determining, even in God, he will feel comfortable because he's not paying attention to his infinite aims and desires. Otherwise, in reality, he has to take notice of his infinite aims and desires. If he doesn't, then he may think that he is free and enjoying freedom. Am I wrong?
No, I think you're right in a way. So how do we feel this basically in a way? And let's say I'm thinking about this as well also. How does the burden, heavy burden come to us, or like, compelled to bear a burden and then which is heavy on my shoulders? But definitely needs the awareness of our reality. Because if I, let's say, if I don't think about myself, I can live in that heedless way, but then I'm only living like an animal just looking for the next day. Okay, if I can get something to eat, I have shelter. And there's nothing really that would bother, like many people live this way, that yes, there's nothing that is really bothering them on their shoulders, even though they don't believe in God or divine determinant.
Before belief in God and divine determining, I think we human beings need to take notice of our reality. Otherwise, we don't understand the need, we don't feel the need to uh, believe in God and divine determining all the rest of it, all the belief system. If someone doesn't think of his reality, maybe we have to pay attention to ourselves. How much I am thinking of who I am, what I am in this world, which kind of creature I am, which kind of qualities I have, what do they mean? If I don't question this, I wouldn't feel that not believing in divine determining, I will bear a huge burden on my shoulder. No, I wouldn't feel it. While we are speaking to other people also, rather than showing, trying to tell them, look what is beautiful created out there, and there must be a meaning in it. I say, maybe God there may be a creator, none of my concern. Maybe a creator, okay, there is a creator, leave it. So we have to invite people, ourselves definitely first, experience it, and then invite people to reflect on their reality. Who you are, which kind of qualities you have. You wouldn't say that you are not the owner of these qualities. No, first make them realize that these infinite desires are with them, and then question, where did you get these infinite desires? From your cells of your body? So that is your reality, and what does it mean? I think this way of reasoning that the text is presenting to us, we have to turn it into practical terms.
Inshallah, yes. So man, we need to know ourselves, that what are our desires and aims, what are we looking for in life that we're given here. Sit and listen to ourselves, wonder, listen to our spirit, what our feelings are looking for, and see, yeah, nobody wants to be purposeless in this life. Everybody wants happiness, satisfaction, peace, harmony. And can we provide it ourselves? No, there are like too many things happening in one's life. The power, will, freedom are insufficient to meet any of these. So it may be understood how awesome is the burden of the distress he bears. So that makes me realize, knowing myself, if with my needs, and none of these needs can be fulfilled by anything in this universe, who are all dependent, created beings. And I can't even prevent myself from aging myself, can't prevent myself from the different things that happen in my life that I don't like, looking for eternal happiness, satisfaction. So thus belief in divine determining throws that burden in its entirety. Wow, everything, like the whole burden just vanishes, or is no longer there, onto the ship of divine determining. So just leave it to divine determining. I mean, I would feel very light once I let my life, knowing who I am, what I am, in that, as Brother Lee was saying, the reasoning, starting from yourself, look at your feelings, your desires, and then everything, just leave it to divine determining, all the burden, that existential burden that you have, allowing him to roam free within its perfections. So the perfections of divine determining, with perfect ease and perfect freedom of spirit and heart. Divine determining only negates the petty freedom of the evil commanding soul and smashes its pharaoh-like tyranny and lordship. and it's acting as it wishes. So divine determining acting as it wishes. Belief in divine determining produces such pleasure and happiness. It is beyond description. So we shall allude to it with the following comparison. Okay, so before we go into the comparison, anybody would like to add anything? What belief in divine determining, how it eases up the burden if we just let it go to load it over to the ship of divine determining. Leave it to the Lord of the universe, my Lord. And then I can roam freely and let divine determining act, freedom of spirit and heart. So no matter what happens, it's all from Him, divine determining that in my life.
Do you think if you read the comparison down there, it will help us answer your question?
We can try that, inshallah. Let's see. Okay, so the comparison says two men, basically that's two sides of me also, it can be that way, travel to the seat of government of a king, and there entered his private palace, a, a place of rare wonders. One of them did not recognize the king, and laying hands on everything and stealing them, wanted to settle there. So we can take this private palace like this universe, and I'm here in this universe. I don't recognize an owner, and I'm just using and living my life heedlessly. However, he experienced certain difficulties, for he had to manage the palace and its park, oversee its revenues, work its machines, and feed its strange animals. He suffered constant distress. So stressful. So all this work that needs to be done. So the paradise-like park became hell for him. He pitied everything. He could not govern them. He passed his time regretfully. Then this thieving, unmannerly man was cast into prison as a punishment. The second man recognized the king and knew himself to be his guest. I think this is important. So recognized the king, but also knew himself to be his guest. He believed that all the matters in the park and palace occurred through the regulation of the law, and that everything functioned in the palace with perfect ease in accordance with a program. There's a particular program that is not just accidental, randomly happening. Everything functioned with perfect ease in accordance with the program. Leaving the difficulties to the king's law, he benefited with complete enjoyment from all the pleasures of that paradise-like garden, and relying on the king's mercy and the efficacy of the administrative laws, he saw everything as agreeable and passed his life in perfect pleasure and happiness. He understood the meaning of the saying, "He who believes in divine determining is saved from grief." So this is the comparison. One who does not recognize the king thinks he has to take care of everything that is out there in the universe or the palace. I mean, and you imagine the huge palace and like is just too much. Like you can't even take care of one little area, but all the machines feed all the strange animals. This constant stress, definitely hell for him. Whereas if one, yeah, go ahead, brother.
Excuse me, what does this uh, machines and manage the palace strength, what are they representing in this comparison? Is my question clear?
Yeah, so you're saying what does the machines mean and the animals and managing the palace? So
Yeah.
like all the, for example, we call them laws or whatever, however the universe is functioning by the order that is follows, basically. So there's they name it gravity, they say laws of whatever thermodynamics, or all these little things that make the universe or the rotations of the earth and the solar system. So all that is operating within a particular order. He thinks he has to take care of all of that.
Shall we
That
go back? Shall we go back?
sure.
There, from the beginning, two men traveled to the seat of government of a king. It means you and I came to this world. We came to this world, created in this world. And there entered his private palace. It means your human reality, my human reality.
Private palace is my human reality. I see.
A
Okay.
place of rare wonders. Now, that is the point. A place of rare wonders. What are they? There are infinite aims and desires in my palace.
Oh, okay. So
If I
this,
don't realize this, the rest of the story doesn't make sense to me.
so within me, all these infinite aims and desires are there. The
Right?
rare ones.
That is what I understood. Infinite, yeah. But infinite is important, eh? Not only today what I am going to eat. No,
Right.
yeah. Now, take this palace now. And he didn't recognize the king, the owner of the universe, therefore his own palace. Because I'm giving my own palace.
Private palace.
Try to read it again, interpreting it. I think it is a good example, practical, simple, good example.
All right, inshallah, let's do that. So the two men traveled to the seat of government of a king, and there entered their own private, and entered his private palace. This is, let's say, my world, a place of rare wonders. So within whatever my body, my spirit that is given to me, it has many aims and desires with my feelings, my senses. So I should wonder about all my feelings, whatever my is included within me, all my human side, the human side of me. So one of them did not recognize the king. So one of the men, let's say the egoistic side of the human being, so wants to grab everything as if stealing them and wanted to settle there. So just use all the qualities, human qualities, and live like an animal in a way. Just eat and then that's it. Eat,
Trying to satisfy himself.
satisfying himself, right? Now, however, he experienced certain difficulties, for he had to manage the palace and its park. So what is the palace and its park? So the palace is the private human being himself. He cannot, who is a created being, cannot change himself at all. Whoa, what happened? Okay. Yeah, the palace and its park. Any comment on what the park is or
I think my body is my palace.
Mhm.
my feelings in it, my palace, and it is related to my environment.
Oh, the park is the environment, I
It's
see.
my palace, and I am related to my environments, and I'm trying to get benefit from them and satisfy them, satisfy myself.
Okay. Okay, so overseas, its revenues, work its so revenues and machines. Let's work on that. So park, you said my environment, right? Whatever, I'm connected to the whole universe.
Yeah.
All right, who can think about what the revenues will be? Oversee its revenues. So from the environment, whatever I can grab, basically, whatever I can grab and use to satisfy myself from the universe. Work its machines.
As if I am making the tree grow, plants grow, and my needs are provided by my own effort, revenues, machines. Machines means, for example, I love animals and I want to make them work properly and I want to benefit from them, but they have to work properly so that I will guarantee my satisfaction.
Mhm. And works its machines. So that could also be the trees as well that are here, plants, all the different varieties of plants, and feed its strange animals. So why strange animals? So all sorts of things we don't know what are working behind the scenes within the universe, the soil. I don't know, so many pollinators, some other insects that like help whatever the that are employed actually for the farming industry, or if somebody's having their own garden or something.
Till we understand it in this way that I am going to satisfy myself.
I am going to satisfy
Yeah.
myself. Okay,
Because I have to obtain something from outside in
right.
order to satisfy myself. Of course, if I'm going to obtain from the outside, I have to manage the things going on in my environment so that I will benefit from them. I must control them in order to benefit from them. They must be all my under control.
Correct. Yes, I must have, yep, control on them to benefit from them. Correct. But then they're not under my control. They don't listen. So he suffers constant distress.
You may have something, new car, for example, and you don't know. You may have an accident. Huh? How can you guarantee? For example,
Right. No guarantee for anything. No.
if it is stolen, I have to insure it.
Right. And yeah, that is a stressful situation.
Very stressful, very stressful.
So the whole paradise-like park, so the whole universe becomes hell for this person. Right? Like too much trouble in this world. What am I doing? So he pitied everything. So the whole negative aspect of their life, their world, nothing to really live their life for, because he could not govern anything. He couldn't control anything to satisfy himself. However, he passed his time. Okay, so he passed his time regretfully, and just in that situation, stressful situation, he's just in a negative mindset. This guy is just passing time with full of regrets. And just for this, unmannerly man was cast into prison as punishment. Because everything boils down to by not recognizing the king and just satisfying their own individual material
Physically,
needs.
physically, they don't seem to be in prison, but psychologically they are. And because they cannot guarantee anything, in order to be able to guarantee everything as they want, they have to take care of everything by themselves. But bear in mind that they have infinite aims and desires. Then the human beings try to benefit from all of them in order to satisfy their infinite aims and desires, which they don't have any end to satisfy. I'm going to do it. I think that is the main message here. I am going to satisfy myself. This understanding and attitude towards my reality and towards the reality of my environment, the universe, so I will feel only imprisonment and in my life. So I have to do this. I have to do this. All the expectations must be realized by me. So this is a psychological stress, punishment. That is how we are created.
So when I'm trying to satisfy myself, and I think I'm the one who's doing that, satisfying all my infinite needs, that's a problem because I will die at one point, at any point. So there's no way I can get any of those desires that I had. It's just only stays in this world. So that's a big psychological stress. And many things are also not under the control, they don't listen. So it is a very horrible situation. And the second man recognizes the king and knew himself to be his guest. So this belief in God also brings within me that in this universe, I am not here forever, but I should have the take that I'm a guest in this world and behave as a guest, which is not to own anything or just without his permission do anything that doesn't displeases the Lord of the universe. I think we discussed this on a Saturday morning as well, what to be a guest is.
Guest only asks, can I have this? It doesn't have to do it. Can I have a cup of coffee if it is possible, please? The other one is he's going to do it.
Take it, yeah.
Yes, the difference is this. I have to make it. I have to do it. Guest says, I am just using my free will to ask. It is a beautiful psychology, very comforting psychology.
So recognize who the Lord is and then just pray and ask. Yeah, that's all a guest can do. Not just take over the king's property and start owning it, but be as a guest. Ask. So he believed that all the matters in the park and palace occurred through the regulation of the law and that everything functioned with perfect ease in accordance with a program.
And that is qadar side of it, regulation of the law.
The divine determining side, the
Yeah, that's
spontaneous, orderly creation that is going on, is, which follows a particular program. That's good to know. It's not just accidental, which is doesn't satisfy me at all.
somebody is managing everything. The one who creates the universe is managing everything. So he knows what he is doing. And we know that the universe is coming into existence within a perfect regulation of the laws, principles. So he's taking care of it, not me. If only I don't spoil it.
Inshallah, yes. So leaving the difficulties to the king's law. Too many difficulties that, yep, everything that is, we are in with our infinite aims and desires, to leave all those difficulties to the king's law. He benefited with complete enjoyment from all the pleasures of that paradise-like garden, and relying on the king's mercy and the efficacy of the administrative laws. So the qadr, the divine determining aspect, he relies on the divine determining, on his mercy and how the program and administrative laws are functioning. He saw everything as agreeable and passed his life in pleasure and happiness. He understood the meaning of the saying, "He who believes in divine determining is saved from grief." I think, yeah, we need to put ourselves in this situation, think about this a little bit with our feelings, how to, if we don't recognize what is our situation, don't recognize the creator of the universe or the king, what is our situation? And with all our infinite aims and desires that we have, to basically know ourselves, that we do are not just living day to day, but infinite aim. We have infinite aims and desires. And what my position here is in this world as a guest. Okay, inshallah. Any other thoughts, comments? I hope this comparison helps a little bit, somewhat, inshallah. I think this is key for human beings to know the infinite aims and desires. This starts from there. Like if one doesn't know this, and even belief in God would not really help much. All right. Let's go into the fourth topic. If you say in the first topic, you prove that everything about divine determining is good and beautiful. Even the evil that comes from it is good. And the ugliness, beautiful. So the ugliness is actually beautiful. But the disasters and tribulations in this world refute that statement. This is another common question. What about the wars, the disasters, tribulation in the world? How is that really something good? It's pretty ugly, right? So anything that is created by divine determining is good and beautiful. But I think the creation part is also something that to keep in mind. Even the evil that comes of it is good and the ugliness beautiful. But the disasters and tribulations of this world refute that statement. The answer, O my soul and my friend, who feels severe pain out of intense compassion. Severe pain out of intense compassion. So even the compassion is intense, but there's severe pain. What is going on?
So, can you explain what this out intense compassion for what?
I think that's the creation aspect of the things that are happening in the world.
Yeah. For example, when you hear that some people are homeless, some people were innocent people were killed, what do you feel?
Right. So that causes pain, basically at looking at the people who are dying of hunger, or but there is some benefit in what's going on. So it means I need to act if I can help in any way, definitely. That's one aspect of it. Right. Whatever is given to me out of that, I should be able to do, or call out anyone who can. So whatever the order of the universe allows me, which is also a prayer to my Lord to take care of that. But if it's not within my power or anything I can do, then yes, I should realize there must be some wisdom behind that. I mean, it's hard to see that it is intense compassion, right? Or maybe there is some compassion, but intense is like a strong word. Like really, somebody wants you to wake up, maybe doesn't want you to just live a heedless life, but pay attention to that. So that does act as an intense compassion. For example, if I think we give the example, if somebody is crossing the road and then you have to pull aggressively, that person and say, come on, man, that was very aggressive, but that was part of the intense compassion. So the person doesn't get into like gets hit by a car or something. So there is that intense compassion. If anybody wants to add anything? Severe pain out of intense compassion.
This is how we feel. Intense compassion, if something happens to others, not only to me, but to others also, I feel really pain. I don't want this happen to them, but I cannot stop it. That's why we have to pay attention to this side. My friend who feels severe pain out of intense compassion. That is why he says disasters and tribulations in this world.
Right. So pay attention to which side.
That is what normally human being feels.
Correct. Yes. We feel the pain. Yes.
Yeah. But how are you going to deal with it is another matter. Previously, the comparison showed us if you say, I am a guest here, there is somebody who's taking care of it, you will feel different. If you say, no, I am going to, it shouldn't happen, it shouldn't happen. And I cannot do anything. It's just pain. Not believing in divine determining brings nothing but pain. I think the main topic is this.
I see. Thank you. So the fact that all virtues and perfections return to existence, and that the basis of all rebellion, calamities, and defects is non existence, are a proof that existence is pure good and non existence pure evil. Since non-existence is pure evil, circumstances that either result in non-existence or give an inkling of non-existence also comprise evil. Therefore,
I think we have to concentrate on this sentence here, that calamities and defects is non-existence. And we have to question all this. Let's read the fact that, can you please carefully read this, the fact that,
yes, the fact that all virtues and perfections return to existence. That's one thing. All virtues and perfection returns to existence. And the basis of all rebellion, calamities, and defects is non-existence, basically.
I mean,
This is our interpretation in a way. This,
no, all excuse me,
yes, please.
I'm also trying to understand the fact that all virtues and perfections return to existence. I should understand it. Virtues and perfections related to existence. Existence is pure good. Return to, let me see the original one. This is the fourth, is it?
I think pertain is a better word.
Pertaining to, related to. I see. I see. She has translated it literally.
I see. So all virtues and perfections relate to or pertain to existence.
Yeah, relate to, whatever you prefer, pertain to existence, and
The basis of all rebellion, calamities, and defects is non-existence.
now, that is, we have to understand now why rebellion, calamities. Now, rebellion is different. It's just human attitude. Calamities and defects is the basis of all this is non-existence. What is non-existence here? For example, the simple example, illness is non-existence of health. That's why I feel pain.
Lack of health is illness.
Lack of health. Now, lack of it. So, for example, let's say everybody worries and feels pity or pain if a huge forest is burned. Why? Because existence of forest itself is perfect. But we think as compared to the existence of forest, now we think it is non-existence after being burned. That is why we feel pain. Did I explain it?
Because whatever was existing there, we think it's not there anymore. Yes.
Yeah, that is why my expectations are not met, because my expectations are based on existence. Now, if I see that this is non-existent now, the whole forest is burned, I feel it shouldn't. It means this desire looks for existence. That is why existence is pure perfection. Non-existence of the things makes me feel pain. Here, the non-existence now is are a proof that, continue, a proof that
Yeah, where
No, no,
was
no,
I?
no, up. Yeah,
Are a proof that existence is pure good and
yeah.
non-existence pure evil.
Ah,
Evil.
this one is bold and red to me. That is everything. To me, I mean, that's up to you, but I would do that. Now, because non-existence of the what my expectations are is the source of my stress, my pain. So this shows that existence is pure and good, and non-existence pure evil. So, for example, human beings have these perfect, infinite desires, infinite aims. This existence is pure. But if I don't really rely in the creator of my sins, my senses, if I don't rely on the creator, in the creator, what happens? I am going to satisfy it because I cannot satisfy infinite desires. What I feel? Pain. The source of pain is what? Missing the point. It means non-existence of my satisfaction. This is a proof that existence is pure good. Non-existence is pure evil. That is a very serious subject.
So you're saying the non-existence is my expectation for something. That is.
For example, this is just an example. Why human beings feel pain? Because they want perfection, infinite perfection. When they cannot guarantee it, fulfill it, they feel pain. So lack of my reality, what my reality requires, is the source of evil. That is why human beings say, oh, the calamities, disasters, tribulations, hurricanes, these are just evil. I don't want them. But what is hurricane or disaster? Earthquake is simple example. These are the others also. I love beautiful ocean. But when I see that this beauty of ocean disappeared when hurricane happens, what I feel? Pain. Why? Lack of existence, according to my expectations, disappear. Earthquake, for example. I am comfortable when there is no earthquake. And when this existence is taken away, I feel pain. And I don't want it to happen. Non-existence is evil. Existence is the pure good. So, but we have to be careful that burning the fire, this is a very serious subject. We have to think about it. Burning the uh, forest is also an existence. But to show that God creates this, to show to me, to demonstrate to me that, look, you are accustomed with the existence, which is usually the case. I will tell you, I will teach you that existence is pure good by demonstrating to you that non-existence of this good thing, on one occasion, you will understand that existence is perfect. So come back to our reality. The existence of my infinite aims and uh, desires is good. It shouldn't cause a pain. If I am suffering from non-satisfaction of my existence, be careful here. If I am suffering from non-satisfaction of my existence, it means I am denying existence, which is pure good, relating to ourselves. Did I explain it? It's a very serious.
I didn't get the last part. The
It would,
last sentence.
no,
The-
it's correct. This is a very difficult subject, very complicated subject, and philosophers couldn't solve this problem. Philosophers couldn't, but Muslims easily solve it. Now, the creation is realized out there. In general, it is beautiful, isn't it?
yes, beautiful.
How many times earthquake happens in your life? Have you had any experienced any earthquake
I mean, light ones.
in your life? Example,
Hmm.
experienced?
Yes.
Oh, somebody 3, 4, 5 times. Oh, real.
No,
Looking,
not the,
you
yeah,
did.
just, yeah, light shakes.
Now, life-threatening, they say.
Yeah,
So,
no, not the ones.
did you experience any of them? Not
No,
only just shaking,
no.
no. So, I did some buildings were collapsed, but not in my area, in the place where I was. And I am 75 years old. Only once I experienced it. Do you understand? Even in 75 years, only once I experienced it, and only occasional things happened there.
Right.
We were all frightened. We were all disturbed. Now, this is reality. This is also a creation. But which kind of creation? Wisdom. Now, there is a wisdom. To teach us non-existence is bad. I need it. I need it. Keep this one in mind. Okay, write it down somewhere next to you and keep it there. So,
So I need existence and non-existence is bad.
yeah, because in 75 years, I experienced only 5 seconds shaking the earth. In my life, that is why I did. From there, what I do, I am asked or invited to appreciate 75 years of my life. I am entertaining the perfect existence of the earth. And which in one event, which took 5 seconds, I realized that non-existence of this kind of perfect existence is very bad. Non-existence is evil. Didn't exist at all is evil. Now,
When you say
try,
non-existence of this kind of event, you mean the earthquake?
yeah, but the teaching me that non-existence is bad.
Okay.
Uh, when I learned this, I come back to myself now. I have lots of ambitions to satisfy my infinite aims and desires. Right? What
Right.
what do people do? They take drugs, alcohol, get drunken. Why? Because they cannot satisfy these infinite aims and desires. They want to stop them, don't function. To have happy hours. What is happy hours? Get drunk. Don't feel really very alerted, alarmed. Forget about your reality. Why? Why do they do that? Why people keep themselves busy with plays, video plays, or you see that reading thrillers, meaningless thrillers, keeping themselves busy. Why? They cannot face their reality because they are not satisfied. They are not satisfied. Got it?
Yes, correct.
So what does it mean? They are denying existence because they don't have the source of satisfaction for it. And Nursi says, look, if you trust the owner of the universe, and if you understand that existence is the pure good, existence is pure good, the existence of your feelings also is pure good. Your human reality is also pure good. So think about it. When I take some of them, you feel pain. You feel pain, right? So think about it. Don't try to kill it. Benefit from it. It is good, pure good for you. How can you do that? Think about the source of existence, the existence of these feelings, and he is teaching you that he is the one who is going to satisfy them, not you will satisfy them. Does it make sense?
Yeah, so there's a comment. So thinking that the earthquake was bad in its existence is its non-existence from my perspective.
Yeah, from my perspective, good point. Very good point.
But the non-existence is for the perfection that I'm looking for, right? Which is not there anymore with the earthquake.
For anything, if I try to satisfy myself, I cannot satisfy my infinite aims and
Desires, yeah.
desires. I cannot.
Hmm.
So I have to deny it. But if I understand that their existence is good, then I will say, since they are there must have a purpose for it. Since I cannot satisfy them, so think about it. Who can satisfy it? The one who gave it to you. So simple. So
Right,
look for
correct.
it.
Yeah, look for the source who can
Yeah.
satisfy. Okay, so let's think about this a little bit. I think we can.
I think this point needs to be to to reflect on. So,
Inshallah. Yeah, it's a good point actually. So we'll reflect on this and inshallah we'll pick it up.
and in Islamic history also scholars argued about it a lot. It has
Hmm.
a very, very strong background in Islamic history.
So this discuss the rebellion, calamities, and defects, or in terms of existence and non-existence.
Yeah, but I mean, Muslim scholars understood that Allah is teaching something to us through calamities and defects, right?
Right.
I mean, the rebellion means the things happen that rebels the perfect order of the creation. For example, hurricane.
Hmm.
It is not human rebellions here.
Right.
According to us, they are rebelling the order of the universe. But
Mhm.
here, what they worked on it, existence is pure good and non-existence is pure evil. Now, on this, there are lots of arguments, and there are schools of thoughts. They are saying no, non-existent. They argued a lot, and also you must have heard that everybody is arguing about this point. Why calamities happen means why there is non-existence. They think, as Ferha said, from their perspective, non-existence from our perspective, because we take it for granted that somebody is alive, right? He's living,
Right.
and he suddenly dies. What we think, it is bad. Why? Why is it bad? Because they say in this way, he lost his life. Look, non-existence is bad. Lack of life is bad. Did you get it?
Right. Yes.
Now, according to me,
That's my perspective, right? Yeah.
according to the creator, life is existence, death is existence. It is a good example. Take notes of it. Note of it,
Yeah,
inshallah.
it's a good example, inshallah. For example, life.
Let's take note of it, and we can start from uh, this point next week, because we may spend some time on it. It is worth it, inshallah.
Inshallah. So the example, for example, creation of life, the creation of life is good. When we lose it, we think it's also a creation. Okay, inshallah. I think we can stop here and we'll go over this again, inshallah. All right. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعوانا على الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة سورة الفاتحة. Thank you, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
Just continuing, YouTube continues.
What's that?
YouTube continues live streaming.
Okay, let me stop the live stream.